here as you guys come in. Please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics, and basically just what's going on in the world. I know I'm a little bit late, but I'm here. We're gonna get into Donald Trump, ERIKA, KIRK, um, and just some Wendy Aselfo stuff, and also I guess Kim went on the podcast that Alicia Curry just went on, and Alicia Curry was trending. So we'll get to that. So like the videos, you guys come in. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics, what's going on in the world. We talk about it all. So give me a few seconds while I get into to do my disclaimer. But this was yesterday, just so people know. I don't want people to think this is currently happening. This was yesterday. And we're going to get into what she said. So just give me a second. Come on in, like the video, you guys, as you come in. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm a lot later than I normally am. I'm normally live by 11 or 12. But like the videos, you guys come in. Let's see. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged in our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Like the videos, you guys come in. Like the videos, you guys come in. We're not going to spend a lot of time. We're just going to go ahead and get straight into the video and what ERIKA had to say.
Amid the peace process in the Middle East, very grateful. Charlie always admired your commitment to freedom, and that's something that both of you share. So thank you. Your support of our family and the work that Charlie devoted his life to will be something I cherish forever. So thank you. To our gracious First Lady in her office for making this event possible. Thank you as well. It's beautiful. To Vice President and the lovely Usha fans, your friendship has been an unbelievable encouragement. Thank you. And to all our friends and family that are here watching from all around the world, thank you for loving us. Thank you for praying for us and for believing in what Charlie believed in. And to our Turning Point USA staff and the Charlie Kirk Show staff, we love you more than you could ever know. And to the Turning Point USA chapters that are watching all across America right now, you are the heartbeat of this future and of this movement. Everything that Charlie built, you guys are the legacy holders of that. You are living proof that his mission did not die with him. It lives through you. And Charlie always said the next generation will decide whether freedom endures. And because of you, I know that freedom will endure. It will. And today we're gathered not only to celebrate Charlie's birthday, but to honor a truth that he gave his entire life to defend, and that's freedom. The very existence of the Presidential Medal of Freedom reminds us that the national interest of the United States has always been freedom. Our founders etched it into the preamble of our Constitution, and those words are not relics on parchment. They are a living covenant. The blessings of liberty are not man's invention, they are God's endowment. Charlie lived for those blessings, not as abstract words, but as sacred promises. He used to love to journal about this topic all the time, and with such a heart posture of gratitude. And he believed that liberty was both a right and a responsibility. And he used to say, freedom is the ability to do what is right without fear. And that's how he lived. He was free from fear. He was free from compromise, free from anything that could enslave his soul. His name, Charles, literally means free man. And that's exactly who my husband was. He was a free man. And from the time I met him, sitting across from him, being interviewed on politics and philosophy and theology, anything that Charlie loved, any topic he loved, and I just saw the fire in his soul, and there was this divine restlessness within him that came from knowing God placed him on this earth to protect something very, very sacred for all of us. And he never stopped fighting for people to experience freedom. He didn't. Charlie often said that without God, freedom becomes chaos. And he believed liberty could only survive when anchored to truth. And I remember in one of his speeches, he told the audience that the opposite of liberty isn't law. He said it's captivity. And that the freest people in the world are those whose hearts belong to Christ. But what's so powerful is that Charlie had the ability to communicate so brilliantly across all generations. And he reminded us that in a world that tells us freedom is doing whatever you want to do, the real freedom is the power to live freely and to do what is right. And in one of his journal entries, he wrote that he wanted everyone to know that you can't have liberty without moral responsibility. Freedom divorced from faith eventually just destroys itself. And what's so fascinating about all of this is looking back these past 12 years of Turning Point USA and his mission, there's almost this veil of sacredness. Because what I realized is that while he was building an organization, he was also building a movement. One that called people back to God, back to truth, and a movement that was filled with courage. And ironically, for a man who impacted millions, Charlie never desired to be the center of attention. He just wasn't. My husband was not a man of extravagance. He loved simple but deeply meaningful things. Truly. He loved his late night walks. He loved buying more books than he could ever read because he felt there was no such thing as a book budget. And he loved being able to read to our kids the same bedtime story on repeat because he knew it was their favorite. But to him, that was special. And he loved to sit in the sun on a Saturday morning with his cup of decaf coffee, and his phone was off because he was honoring the Sabbath. And for him, it was that moment to catch his breath and just be in peace because he was unreachable at the moment. And he preferred quiet birthdays. But that never stopped me from telling him. I told him every single year, I said, baby, I love your birthday. I said, because it's the day that God knew the world couldn't go another day without you.
Like the video, like the video, like the video. Don't forget to hit subscribe. People are going to analyze this video as well in regards to what she said. Tears, RIP. No one wants to lose a spouse. No one wants their children's father not to be here. But there's a lot of questions. If there was concerns, why wasn't he more protected? If there was threats, why wasn't he behind the glass with the employees? There's so many questions. But RIP, we get it. But many people are saying, you know, there's a lot that's going on. And allegedly, like I did a short like 2-3 days ago, they're allegedly going to investigate the conspiracy theories as they should. As they should. If there was concerns, he should have been behind bulletproof vest, glass. He should have been protected, period. There's no way if my spouse is a speaker and he's getting unwanted comments, there's no way I'm not going to protect him. His security, no way I'm not going to protect him. Not having an ambulance on the campus at the time, they literally had to drive him to the hospital. And then, if you go look it up, there's statements that they had to figure out where the hospital was. And go back and look at it. Charlie Kirk did a live. I don't know if it's still there. He did a live in regards to the campus not wanting him there. He did a live. I don't even need to go look it up. Hopefully it's still there. I did do a short about it. Surprised it didn't get a lot of views. But Charlie did a short about them not wanting him there. So that's a lot to say. And I think there was petitions. Okay, you don't want me here. I have to protect myself. I gotta be behind bulletproof glass with the staff, because when you look at everything that happened, the staff was nearby and they saw it all. Either there was staff right above him or on the side of him, but he could have been in a building speaking to these students. Women, protect your men. Men, protect yourselves. Security guards. If there's a concern, he should have been behind protective glass. Period. Period. There's just no way you're going to take me out and I have nothing to protect me, near me, by me. So people are questioning, was it above that took it? Was it behind that took it? What is it on the side? We don't know. But they're going to investigate. They're going to investigate. And then there's this Super Bowl thing that they're talking about where many people may not really want to support Bad Bunny. Many people may want to support Bad Bunny, but I guess they want to have an event of some type of concert where you can listen to their music versus the halftime music. So they're pulling viewership from halftime for people to listen to something different. A lot of interesting stuff. Now, go look at my short from last night. She had mentioned, are you guys still here? Yeah. She had mentioned, the way they're going to do things. And then it said a few moments later, go look at my short. She said, we're not going to be playing clips. That's kind of dot, dot, dot. And then she said, if the people have questions, we'll play clips of what he thought. Go look at my short because she kind of contradicted herself. But let me continue. RIP. Nobody wants anybody to not be here. A wife without a husband, sad. Children without a father, sad. If there are men out there and you're doing speaking engagements, make sure there's protection, make sure there's detectors. And that was the other thing. Students were like, they were just able to flow in there without any type of ticket, or I guess there wasn't a lot of police presence either that could, scan the campus and drones. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot that happened, y'all. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open.
Mint ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream. He only had it twice a year, on his birthday and 4th of July. and and then after that, it was back to work as usual. But last year, his one birthday wish was to see the Oregon Ducks play the Ohio State, and they won. Oregon won that night, and it was by far one of the most memorable nights of his birthday.
Also, I will say Candace Owen has a lot of questions about things too. I can't confirm or deny what Candace knows or heard or information she shares, but she was Charlie's friend. She was Charlie's friend. And Candace talked up until, and then recently she announced last week she was going to take a break. I don't blame her for taking a break, but many people didn't like that she was speaking up and speaking out. Now, if the government is saying they're going to look into the conspiracies, they should. And then this is the other thing too, where it happened, they they changed the whole scenery and they put cement down. I could see if they did that 2 months after, but they did that. They changed the whole scenery. They didn't let it stay that for a long time. Now, whether their campers had that plan in their plans, I don't know. But there's a lot of interesting things that's going on. There's a lot of interesting things that's going on. Dairy Queen's closed. Certain people are MIA. There's a lot going on, y'all. I'm just telling y'all.
Experience of his life until today. And so, honestly, President Trump, I have spent 7.5 years trying to find the perfect birthday gift for Charlie. And it's so difficult. And those of you that have spouses or loved ones, you know how difficult it is sometimes to buy a gift for someone that you love, because he wasn't a materialistic man, so that also did not help. But now I can say with confidence, Mr. President, that you have given him the best birthday gift he could ever have. It's such an honor and the recognition of a life lived for defending freedom. And that's what Charlie fought for until his last breath. And it was written across his chest in those final moments on one of his simple t-shirts that always carried a message, and this one bearing a single word, freedom. That was the banner over his life, and that shirt was a declaration. The same declaration he made in every speech, every campus visit, every time he shared the gospel at a church, every sleepless night that he would spend praying for the youth of this nation and planning for the future of our country, and just impressing upon them that when we defend liberty, we defend the soul of our nation. My husband never told anyone what to say. He never did. He never told anyone what to say. He would just encourage them to think. He would encourage them to think outside of the traditional political labels. He would want them to think in a way that was anchored in wisdom and truth. But he would never tell anyone what to say.
Like the video, like the video. Fair use reaction clip. I don't wish this on any spouse. I don't. Like the video. There's a lot going on. Y'all gonna have to definitely stay in tune of what's going on.
He admired freedom. He wanted to multiply it. He wanted to multiply freedom. He wanted young people to taste it and to understand it and defend it. He wanted them to see that liberty isn't self-indulgence, it's self-governance under God. He wanted them to see that. And every day I'd see him getting ready for work. He'd put on his cross necklace, he'd put his ring on his finger. And the boldness in his demeanor was always fearlessness. He wasn't afraid. He was never afraid. And his daily actions, whether in office or on campus or at a church, it was always without fear. That was his creed. That is how he lived out every single day. He didn't fear being slandered. He did not. He didn't fear losing friends, I can tell you that. He didn't care. He stood for truth and stood for freedom, and he did not, everything else was just noise to him. And it's because his confidence in Christ was absolute. That's why. There was no limit to what he would have sacrificed to defend freedom for all. And if
the speech is also to give a narrative of what's being said. Even though she's not speaking up against other people that spoke out, this speech is to shut some of that stuff down too. Understand that. Like the video, because I already hear certain things she's saying. It's to shut down certain narratives and shut down certain rumors or conspiracies.
The moment had come, he probably would have run for president, but not out of ambition. He would only have done it if that was something that he believed that his country needed from a servant's heart standpoint. Charlie lived only 31 short years. I was 32, but on this side of heaven, but he lived every single second. He filled every single day with purpose, and he fought for truth when it was unpopular, and he stood for God when it was costly. But that's what we're called to do. Surprisingly enough, he did pray for his enemies, which is very hard, but he did. He did. He did. No one else, I mean, I saw him do it. No, he never did it in front of anyone else, but I can attest to that. But he also loved people when it was...
And why would their group want to do a halftime show this year? Did they make that announcement last year? I don't know. I don't follow everything. Why would their group want to do a halftime show over Bad Bunny this year? Did they do a halftime show last year? Somebody let me know. I'm just curious. Like the videos, you guys come in.
He ran his
Good morning. Good morning, Anonymous. Yes, you guys, get the likes up. Get the likes up. Thank you. There's about 99 in the building. Let's get the likes up.
Faith. And now he wears the crown of a righteous martyr. And for me and for our children, the truth really steadies our grief, because
okay,
what earth could no longer contain.
I'm happy all is well. Bless your heart, Anonymous. Just hang in there. Bless your heart. I see it now.
A free man made fully free. To all watching,
I'm happy all is well.
This is a commissioning. My message is simple. I want you to be the embodiment of this medal. I do. I want you to free yourself from fear. I want you to stand courageously in the truth. Listen for the still, small voice of God. And remember that while freedom is inherited in this country, each of us must be intentional stewards every single day. God began a mighty work through my husband, and I intend to see it through. And the torch is in our hands now. It's in mine, it's in yours, it's in all of yours, it's in all the students with Turning Point USA. And before I close, I'll share with you that I asked our daughter what she would like to say to Daddy for his birthday. She said, "Happy birthday, Daddy. I want to give you a stuffed animal. I want you to eat a cupcake with ice cream. And I want you to go have a birthday surprise. I love you," that's what she said. And while our son, he's precious, he can't yet speak, in classic KIRK family fashion, his actions spoke louder than his words. And his gift to you, Charlie, and myself for that matter, was deciding to become the man of the house and be fully potty trained at 16 months. Charlie, baby, I know that you're celebrating in heaven today, but gosh, I miss you. We miss you. And we love you, and we promise we'll make you proud. And Charlie's life was proof that freedom is not a theory, it's a testimony. He showed us that liberty begins not in the halls of power, but in the man of a heart surrendered to God. And so today, as we honor Charlie with this incredible Presidential Medal of Freedom on his birthday, I stand here with tears and just a humbled heart and spirit, because his story reminds us all that to live free is the greatest gift, but to die free is the greatest victory. Happy birthday, my Charlie. Happy Freedom Day.
Okay, like the videos, y'all come in. Like the videos, y'all come in. Many people feel away. Many people feel away, and I'm not going, RIP, because nobody wants to lose a spouse, the children of your father. Nobody wants that. Like the videos, y'all come in.
It's great. America, he loved this country.
Hold on.
And that's why this. Though our nation was robbed of this extraordinary champion, he was a champion in every way. I got to know him so well. He didn't like losing, and he was able to fight people that were enemies, and he didn't necessarily love those enemies so much. I heard he loved his enemies, and I said, wait a minute, is that the same Charlie that I know? I'm not sure, but I didn't want to get in. But it was a horrible, heinous, demonic act of murder.
Hold
He
on.
was assassinated in the prime of his life for boldly speaking the truth, for living his faith and relentlessly fighting for a better and stronger America. He loved this country. And that's why this afternoon it's my privilege to posthumously award Charles James Kirk, our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Thank you. As you know, only hours ago, I returned from a very historic trip to secure peace in the Middle East. People said that couldn't be done. Charlie felt it could be done. Charlie felt it could be done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I raced back halfway around the globe. I was going to call ERIKA and say, ERIKA, could you maybe move it to Friday? And I didn't have the courage to call. But you know why I didn't go? Because I heard today was Charlie's birthday. And I said, that was a definite. I said, we're going to have to forget about some of those very big, very rich countries that expected me to be there. And I can tell you, based on the length of that flight, I wouldn't want to go back tomorrow. But I would not have missed this moment for anything in the world. Nothing. And it's a very important time for our country. And our country is doing so well. It's never done better. We are a country with almost now $18 trillion of investment coming in. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. Previous administration had less than $1 trillion for 4 years. We have more than 18, it'll be much more than 20 by the time the year, more than $20 trillion. There's never been a country in the world that had anything like that. What's happened to our country is incredible in a short period of time. Charlie was a big person for, sir, could we close up those borders, please, a little bit? They're really leaking badly. I said, Charlie, I haven't gotten there yet. But, it came out last 4 months. Literally nobody was allowed into our country. And the only people that allowed in were people that came in legally. The borders are absolutely stone cold closed. And they reported 0, 0, 0, and 0. So that's pretty good. But he was a big believer. He wanted people in the country more than I did, frankly. He wanted them to come in legally. And he got his wish. October 14th is Charlie's birthday, and he should have been turning 32 years old that day. When I first met him, he was like 22. And I said, boy, he's awfully young, but I thought he was older than that. He looked a little bit older than his age. That's okay. That's not good when you're old, but when you're young, it's great. He had the best of all things, but he was special. But instead, Charlie is attaining a far more important milestone. We're entering his name forever into the eternal roster of true American heroes. He's a true American hero, an amazing person, way, way beyond his years. And I'm honored to be joined by a woman who has endured unspeakable hardship with unbelievable strength, and that's Charlie's widow, ERIKA. And I just want to thank you, ERIKA. He loved you so much. I was with him. Please. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I was with him before I met Erika, and he told me he was going to get married. He said, "You won't believe how beautiful she is." I said, "Well, then now that I meet her, he's right." But then he also said, "And you know what? She's like the smartest person I know." See, they do go together on occasion. Not often. Not often. But on occasion they go together. But he was in love with you. He was deeply in love with you. It's great. Erika, your love and courage have been an inspiration to all of us, and we will always be here for you, and we're always going to be here for your gorgeous, beautiful children. And we'll never forget what your family has sacrificed for our country. Man loved our country. When things were going badly for our country, he was so, as you know, angry. He would get angry because he said it doesn't have to be that way. We're also pleased to be joined by an incredible group of Charlie's friends, very powerful friends, actually, and some not so powerful, and they're actually better people, okay? I know the less powerful ones. I have to tell you that, all of you power guys down here, the best ones in the group are the ones that are less successful, but that happens too. No, they're all great, and they're here. And let's start with Erika's father. Where is Erika's father? Where are you? Where are you, Dad? Oh, look at him. Wow. I want to get a hat like that, too. I like that. How are you? Nice to see you again. Thanks as well to Vice President J.D. Vance, who's been fantastic. J.D., thank you very much. Great. Doing a great job. Did a great job on Sunday with George Slobodanopoulos. He did it. Put him away pretty good. Second lady, who's a phenomenal woman.
Like the video. Did he just call George Slobodanopoulos? And you see, he continues to talk about other stuff outside of. This was all a part of his speech as well. He's going to continue to talk about other stuff outside of. But we get it. That's what his speech is for. But shouldn't they be focusing more on? But it is what it is. But yeah, he's going to be taking little digs at other people. Like the video. Like the video. There's about 236 in the building. Please hit subscribe. And let's get the likes up, you guys. The likes should match the views. All it takes is to double tap that screen to get the likes up. Or hit the thumbs up above the video, below the video. YouTube makes it easy. To hit the like is free. Super chats are welcome. $2, $5, $10. Super chats are welcome. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Usha Vance, thank you very much, Usha. Thank you very much. Great woman. President of Argentina. He wanted to be here. That's Argentina's a serious flight, right? And he's become a superstar, and he's doing amazing things. He's a MAGA person, but it's make Argentina great again. That's what he does, right? And I want you to stand, please, Javier Milei. Doing a great job. Thank you very much. Many members of my cabinet are here. Just about all of them are here. I won't go into every single one of them, but I'll announce a few of the people that have really turned this country around and helped me. Incredible people. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Where's Mike? Mike, what a job you're doing, Mike. What a job you're doing. And I watched you this morning, and you're in there trying to say, look, just let the country open. Everything will be fine. We're dealing with some radical left lunatics. And I just wish Charlie was here to fight us. I think the fight would have been over already. He would have had a march on the Capitol by people whose average age is about 21, because there's nobody that had that relationship with young people. Right, Mike? So thank you, Mike, for being here. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. Steve, thank you very much. A brave guy and a friend. House Majority Whip, another terrific man, Tom Emmer. Thank you, Tom. Senate Majority Whip, John Barrasso. John, thank you very much. We have all these senators. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm not going to read all their names. I'll be reading all day. We'll be talking about Charlie in about 45 minutes from now. We can't do that. So all of the senators, there's so many of you. Thank you very much. I do want to thank Senator Thune for doing a terrific job. He's really been leading properly. Do you agree, Mike? The two of these guys have been fantastic. So to Senator Thune, I want to thank you very much. Incredible job. I watched him this morning, and he was out there pounding him this morning on television too. And John Barrasso, thank you for the work you've done, and congratulations on your success. But I want to thank you all and all of the Congress people that are here. I see we have our Attorney General here, and you are doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Pam. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have everybody. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, I'm not going to do any more. Here too long, but I just want to thank you. Have given him such support, but he always gave you such support. That's why you're here. And very unusual. Charles James Kirk was a visionary and one of the greatest figures of his generation. He was truly an amazing figure, and growing leaps and bounds. He knew that the fight to preserve our heritage is waged not only on the battlefield and in the halls of power, of which we have tremendous power here, including the head of a place called War. We call it now War. We had defense. We had our Secretary of Defense. Now we have a Secretary of War. And somehow I think it's more emblematic, and hopefully we'll never have to use war. But the fact that we're ready is very good. Peace through strength is very important. But also in the hearts of our nation's youth, that's where Charlie rode strongest. At age 18, that insight inspired Charlie to found the organization that touched the lives of millions and millions of people, and so many young people that nobody's ever seen anything like it, frankly. Turning Point USA. It's amazing. And it's actually bigger now. It's become bigger in the last few weeks than Charlie ever thought. I think his end vision in many years from now would have been just a fraction of what it turned out to be in a couple of weeks, right? It's amazing. With hard work and joyful and endless enthusiasm and determination. And he did have great enthusiasm. You know, I always say you need enthusiasm to be successful. He had great enthusiasm. Charlie grew Turning Point into the largest conservative youth organization in the entire country. He forged a personal bond with countless young conservatives. He fought for free speech, religious liberty, strong borders, and a very strong and proud America. In everything he did, he put America first. He really put America first. And ultimately, Charlie became more than a leader of an important organization. He became the leader of historic movements all over the country. There were movements, individual movements, one movement, but it was historic. Everything he did was historic, and a true evangelist for the cause of freedom and the word of Almighty God. God was very important to Charlie. He would say, you know, if you don't have religion, you're not going to have a strong country. It's true. He was so wise beyond his years. You know, I talk to him sometimes. I say, this guy is like a young guy. He was really a wise man. From the time Charlie worked on my presidential campaign in 2016, he was there right from the beginning. He liked me. I don't know. I have no idea why. What the hell was he thinking? He said, you're going to win, sir. I said, you know, I'm running against 17 senators and a lot of tough people and governors. We have all these people. And he said, no, you're going to win, sir. He said, not going to be close. And he made it happen. He helped make it happen. I'll tell you that.
Did he just say he don't know why Charlie liked him? There's about 214 in the building. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Just double tap the screen for me. YouTube makes it easy. All you have to do is double tap the screen. You can hit the like or hit the thumbs up above the video, below the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate you. Let's continue. Fair use.
Without him, who knows what would be? Maybe you'd have Kamala standing here today. That would not be good. I will tell you, Javier, you don't know who Kamala is. Promise, it would not be good. You agree with that, Howard? He also mobilized countless citizens to go vote. It's called Go Vote. Very simple. And with his help in 2024, we won more young people than any Republican by far in the history of our country. And we won the popular vote. We won the states, all 7 of them. Remember, they said, oh, well, if Trump could win 4, that would be nice. I win 7 by a lot, by a landslide. But the popular vote was massive. And we won the Electoral College. Remember, they said, well, it's going to be very hard. I'd say 270. Well, we got 312 to 226. And then we won something called districts, councils, and different things. But in one case, we won 2,750 to 525. That's the one where you see the map is almost entirely red, except they have a little blue line on one side and a little blue line, meaning New York and a little bit Los Angeles. I have a feeling that if the vote were 100%, we would have won that too. You want to know the truth. But he knew, and he knew very well, and he also understood honesty, and he was always concerned with honesty. He said the only way we could lose is if the cheating gets so bad, and that's where we came up with a little phrase, too big to rig. We said, go out and vote. Just go out and vote. And we had that. Remember, we used to say that all the time because people would say, oh, they're going to win. We don't have to vote. Let's go to a movie. We'll come home and watch later. And he wasn't about that. So we come up with really together, we came up with that phrase. We got to make it too big. I never made a speech where I didn't say at the end, now look, the polls are showing good. Don't believe the polls. He said, we're going to make it, Susie, right? Too big to rig. So if you think we're going to win by a lot, doesn't matter. Pretend we're losing. You got to go out and vote. They voted. And at 9:02, the whole thing was over, right? 9:02. Remember, they said, oh, this could go a few days. Well, it went a few minutes. 9:02. And he knew that. And I felt it, but he knew it. He knew it. I think he knew it more than anybody. But Charlie never missed an opportunity to remind us of the Judeo-Christian principles of our nation's founding or to share his deep Christian faith. In his final moments, Charlie testified to the greatness of America and to the glory of our Savior, with whom he now rests in heaven. And he's going to make heaven. I said, I'm not sure I can make it, but he's going to make it. He's there. He's looking down on us right now. It's so incredible. Look at this, how this turned out. This was supposed to be so dark and cloudy. Not dark and cloudy, is it? How beautiful that is. There's no artist that can had captured as beautiful as it is today. Wow, it's amazing. As I said, on the day that he was assassinated, Charlie Kirk was a martyr for truth and for freedom. And from Socrates to think, and to St. Peter, from Abraham Lincoln to Martin Luther King, those who change history the most, and he really did, have always risked their lives for causes they were put on earth to defend. He was put on earth to do exactly what he was doing. He didn't want to waste time. He would have been a top student at any college in the country. I know the college as well. He's smarter than the guys there. He was so smart. But he almost, I guess, didn't have the time. He knew what he wanted to do. It wasn't like, gee, I want to sit in the classroom for 4 years listening to people teach me liberal principles, because they were never going to teach him that anyway. But he didn't have the time. He really didn't have the time. But every time the enemies of goodness and virtue tried to silence the voice of righteous and noble leaders like Charlie, they fail. They seem to fail. Ultimately, they look like they're doing well, and then they end up failing, because the truth has been unrelenting over the years, over history. And people like Charlie, it's just they've got a power that others don't have, and very few people will ever have. So today, like those martyrs before him, Charlie's voice, his message, and his legacy are stronger and greater than ever before. They are greater than ever before. Look, this is a horrible event, but it brought out the greatness of Charlie. Nothing could have ever supplanted this. It's incredible the way people are talking about him, and with great love. I mean, I read so many stories about some of the enemies, but I watch the enemies, and it's hard for them to speak badly about him, because they just don't. And then you do have people in the days since Charlie's killing. We've seen exactly why our country so dearly needed his example. We've watched legions of far-left radicals resort to desperate acts of violence and terror because they know that their ideas and arguments are persuading no one. They know that they're failing. They have the devil's ideology, and they're failing, and they know it. They feel it, and they become violent. They seem to become very violent on the left. They've rammed vehicles into federal law enforcement, fired sniper rifles at ICE agents, and me, But I made a turn at a good time. I turned to the right. Charlie couldn't believe it, actually. He said, how the hell did you make that turn? I said, I don't know. But fired rifles, threatened the lives of our Supreme Court justices, our great justices. They have to be protected. We just issued a lot of money, $60 million, to protect the Supreme Court justices. Very important. We can't let anything happen. In places of worship, we're protecting our people. We've seen that a candidate for Attorney General in Virginia boasted that he would want to see the Republican legislature, a legislator in Virginia, shot in the head and to see his children murdered. He actually said this. And now he continues to run for office, and most people continue to back him, but he said he wants his man shot. He said shot in the head and to see his children murdered. And they keep running. Pretty amazing, right? That's a bad one. Let's see how that turns out, but that's a really bad one. Nobody's heard that one before. Especially in the wake of Charlie's assassination, our country must have absolutely no tolerance for this radical left violence, extremism, and terror. We're done with the angry mobs, and we're not going to let our cities be unsafe. We're going to make sure our cities are safe. When you have Chicago, where they had 4,000 people murdered over a very short period of time, 4,000 people, and then we have a governor stand up and say, oh, things are going swimmingly. Now then, we're going to make Chicago safe, just like we're going to make, look what we did in D.C. It's so nice that we started here, because this was one of the most violent places in the United States. It'd be dangerous to be right out here. But you couldn't go to a restaurant. The restaurants were all dying. The whole place was dying. You'd have these gorgeous, look at the Washington Monument over there. You'd have these gorgeous buildings and monuments and structures. And people were afraid to leave their apartment. They were afraid to go to work. They'd get into an Uber, and they'd feel safe, and then the Uber would be attacked. They thought they made it to safety, and then the Uber was attacked on the trip in. But we've done a great job, and now it's considered a totally safe city. We haven't had problems. It took us 12 days to make it great. We took out, Pam, 1,700 hard criminals, career criminals in many cases, but these are hardened criminals. Many of them came in through the Biden open borders. We brought them back to the countries, and a couple were so violent that we put them in jail. We don't want to take a chance that they could get back in, because no matter how good we do, somebody can sneak in. They were so violent and so bad. One arrested 28 times. Every time he left prison, he'd get into a violent incident. 28 times. And we put him away for a long time. But we're done with the angry mobs. We're done with this. Is such an unbelievable place right now. You take a look where you can walk down the middle of the street with your wife or your husband. Your children can walk. They can walk alone. It doesn't matter. They can walk anywhere in Washington, and they're safe now. If this were a year ago, they'd have a serious chance of being badly hurt, even killed. even killed. They come in from Indiana, they come in from Iowa, they come from Florida to see their nation's capital, and somebody would have to call the parents, I'm sorry, but your son or your daughter's been killed. Not anymore. You hear those sirens going off? That's good. That's a good sound. That means they either got the bad guy or they're going to stop the bad guy. You didn't hear that sound because nobody wanted to do anything. Nobody. Listen to the beauty of that sound. Seriously. And that's the real deal sirens. They're not politically correct sirens. You hear them, they're about 3 miles away. That's great. What a beautiful sound. They're stopping crime. That's what they're doing. So we're done with the voices of fools. They're fools. And death threats, and we're going to make our cities safe. And I thought it was Charlie's, one of his biggest dreams was that he couldn't believe it. Chicago's going to be a great city again. We've already, we sent people in there 6 months ago, and this governor said, well, crime is down. Yeah, that's because we had the FBI in there for 6 months, just preparing it for the bigger surge. And they've done a great job, the Gash and the FBI. They've done a great job, and they love doing it. They love being able to do it. They were restricted from doing it. They couldn't do anything. And now they're totally unrestricted. All they have to do is stop crime, and they're doing it. By the way, Memphis, as you know, you heard they went in about a week ago. One of the most dangerous places in the country. It's really in the world. It's not just the country. They have very few cities that would compare to some of these cities. You go to Afghanistan, you say, oh, that's unsafe. Well, the crime numbers are much better than the crime numbers in places that we have. So Memphis, I understand, is doing unbelievably in 1 week. It's like a different place. And this took 12 days, and then after that, we just perfected it. But after 12 days, we had good safety here. After 1 month, it's like, it's really amazing. And by the way, restaurants are booming. Restaurants are opening up. The big problem we have, you can't get into a restaurant in D.C. anymore. So they're opening up. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's called safety. It's called law enforcement and letting them do their job. And that's why I said last month that I have directed the Attorney General and the Department of Homeland Security to confront the very real threat of left-wing terrorism in our country. It's a real threat. Not when you confront it, it's not, because they're not brave people. In fact, they're cowards. When you confront them, they immediately fold. You have to see them fold. You have to see them crying. They fold. But it includes dismantling the networks that fund them and finance them, and we're finding out who those networks are. We already know quite a few of them. When you see these violent incidents, and then you see people holding this gorgeous sign with beautiful wood, beautiful cardboard, wood, everything's perfect paint job, and they're all the same. There are thousands of them. You know that they weren't made out of love. They were made by anarchists, and in some cases wealthy. I'll probably find some of my nice friends that are up there being so nice to me, especially lately. They're being very nice. But it surprises you who they may be, and you almost wonder why would they do it? But they're hurting our country, and we're really taking it back one by one. If we didn't go into Los Angeles early on in the administration, the chief of police in Los Angeles said, if they didn't go in, we would have lost our city. Now, they already lost 25,000 houses to fire because they wouldn't let the water come in from the Pacific Northwest, which they should have done. I said, you better do it. They didn't do it, and we had 25,000 homes where they had no water in the sprinklers, they had no water in the fire hydrants. It would have been a different kind of a thing if they did what they were supposed to do. We had to break in. We broke in and had the water come down. They said for the environment, great. They lost 25,000 houses. It's incredible. But the commissioner said without the federal government and President Trump's intervention, we would have lost the entire.
Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. There's about 173 in the building. Don't forget to hit subscribe and thank you. Continue to get the likes up, you guys. We should already be at 100 likes. As you're commenting, please double tap the screen to get the likes up. To hit the like button is free. Super chats are welcome. $2, $5 super chats are welcome. Let's continue fair use.
And we have the Olympics going there soon. I got the Olympics. We have the Olympics. We have the World Cup. And we have, most importantly, we have the 250th anniversary of our country. That's going to be most important. And all of these things are happening. And we're going to have safe cities. We're going to have very, very safe cities. So 1 month after Charlie's death, we still feel the terrible shock and the pain of his loss.
First off, why would people... You're to like the video. That's what our pages do. We have to communicate in between. Be kind in the comments or go onto your own page and instruct people what to do.
Nobody I can think of. Charlie KIRK was one of a kind. He was unstoppable, and he really was. Boy, when he had an idea in his head, he would call me, sir, please, you haven't done it yet. I said, Charlie, relax, just relax. He didn't relax. He'd call me the next day again. He got it done. But he was like indomitable and always will be. He's really irreplaceable. Nobody can replace him. But they're going to do great. But you can't replace that kind of person and that kind of talent, frankly. The word talent is an important word, but that kind of talent. So we hold his memory in our hearts forever. Every single day of this administration, we will continue to carry out the mission for which he lived. And he really did. He lived for this country. He lived for his wife and his family, but he lived for this country too. In Charlie's honor, we will continue like we have been to fight, and to win. We're going to win so much. So the Presidential Medal of Freedom is a big deal. You have the Congressional Medal of Honor, military, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is civilian. And the Presidential Medal of Freedom is a really big deal. Very few people get it. Very few people, frankly, qualify. It's a decision of the president, but it's a qualification that's a very hard one to get. And I would like to ask, if I might, the military aide to read Charles James Kirk's citation for the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Like the video, like the video.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded to Charles James Kirk. Accepting on behalf of Charlie is his wife, Mrs. ERIKA Kirk. Charlie Kirk was one of the most influential American political figures of his generation. At just 18 years old, he founded Turning Point USA and grew it into the largest conservative youth organization in the nation. For over a decade, he tirelessly traveled the country in a movement to restore respect for our founding principles, reawaken our national identity, and inspire a renewed spirit of religious devotion. He was one of the great debaters and communicators of his time. Despite receiving repeated threats, he remained undeterred and modeled courage, logic, humor, and grace to the next generation. On September 10th, 2025, at age 31, Charlie Kirk was assassinated while addressing a group of students. The United States honors him as a martyr for truth and freedom.
So now Trump and ERIKA are holding the medal together. Like the video, now ERIKA's about to speak.
For honoring my husband in such a profound and meaningful way, and thank you for making this event a priority amid the peace process in the Middle East. Thank you.
Like the videos, y'all come in.
Charlie always admired your commitment to freedom, and that's something that both of you do. So thank you. Your support of our family and the work that Charlie devoted his life to will be something I cherish forever, so thank you. To our gracious First Lady in her office for making this event possible, thank you as well. It's beautiful. To Vice President and the lovely Usha fans, your friendship has been an unbelievable encouragement. Thank you. And to all our friends and family that are here and watching from all around the world, thank you for loving us. Thank you for praying for us and for believing in what Charlie believed in. And to our Turning Point USA staff and the Charlie Kirk Show staff, we love you more than you could ever know. And to the Turning Point USA chapters that are watching all across America right now, you are the heartbeat of this future and of this movement. Everything that Charlie built, you guys are the legacy holders of that. You are living proof that his mission did not die with him. It lives through you. And Charlie always said the next generation will decide whether freedom endures. And because of you, I know that freedom will endure. It will. And today we're gathered not only to celebrate Charlie's birthday, but to honor a truth that he gave his entire life to defend, and that's freedom. very existence of the Presidential Medal of Freedom reminds us that the national interest of the United States has always been freedom. Our founders etched it into the preamble of our Constitution, and those words are not relics on parchment. They are a living covenant. The blessings of liberty are not man's invention, they are God's endowment. Charlie lived for those blessings, not as abstract words, but as sacred promises. He used to love to journal about this topic all the time, and with such a heart postured of gratitude. And he believed that liberty was both a right and a responsibility. And he used to say, freedom is the ability to do what is right without fear. And that's how he lived. He was free from fear. He was free from compromise, free from anything that could enslave his soul. His name, Charles, literally means free man. And that's exactly who my husband was. He was a free man. And from the time I met him, sitting across from him, being interviewed on politics and philosophy and theology, anything that Charlie loved, any topic he loved, and I just saw the fire in his soul, and there was this divine restlessness within him that came from knowing God placed him on this earth to protect something very, very sacred for all of us. And he never stopped fighting for people to experience freedom. He didn't. Charlie often said that without God, freedom becomes chaos. And he believed liberty could only survive when anchored to truth. And I remember in one of his speeches, he told the audience that the opposite of liberty isn't law. He said it's captivity. And that the freest people in the world are those whose hearts belong to Christ. But what's so powerful is that Charlie had the ability to communicate so brilliantly across all generations. And he reminded us that in a world that tells us freedom is doing whatever you want to do, the real freedom is the power to live freely and to do what is right. And in one of his journal entries, he wrote that he wanted everyone to know that you can't have liberty without moral responsibility. Freedom divorced from faith eventually just destroys itself. And what's so fascinating about all of this is looking back these past 12 years of Turning Point USA and his mission, there's almost this veil of sacredness. Because what I realized is that while he was building an organization, he was also building a movement. One that called people back to God, back to truth, and a movement that was filled with courage. And ironically, for a man who impacted millions, Charlie never desired to be the center of attention. He just wasn't. My husband was not a man of extravagance. He loved simple but deeply meaningful things. Truly. He loved his late night walks. He loved buying more books than he could ever read because he felt there was no such thing as a book budget. And he loved being able to read to our kids the same bedtime story on repeat because he knew it was their favorite. But to him, that was special. And he loved to sit in the sun on a Saturday morning with his cup of decaf coffee, and his phone was off because he was honoring the Sabbath. And for him, it was that moment to catch his breath and just be in peace because he was unreachable at the moment. And he preferred quiet birthdays. But that never stopped me from telling him. I told him every single year, I said, baby, I love your birthday. I said, because it's the day that God knew the world couldn't go another day without you. And so the rhythm of our usual birthday celebration for him was mint ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream. He only had it twice a year, on his birthday and 4th of July. And then after that, it was back to work as usual. But last year, his one birthday wish was to see the Oregon Ducks play the Ohio State. And they won. Oregon won that night. And it was by far one of the most memorable nights of his birthday experience of his life until today. And so, honestly, President Trump, I have spent 7.5 years trying to find the perfect birthday gift for Charlie. And it's so difficult. And those of you that have spouses or loved ones, you know how difficult it is sometimes to buy a gift for someone that you love, because he wasn't a materialistic man, so that also did not help. But now I can say with confidence, Mr. President, that you have given him the best birthday gift he could ever have.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please like the video. Then we're going to get to hot topics, trending topics. Like the videos, you guys come in. There's about 102 in the building. Please hit subscribe. We're trying to hit 50K by next month.
Such an honor and the recognition of a life lived for defending freedom.
Good
And that's
afternoon.
what Charlie fought for until his last breath. And it was written across his chest in those final moments on one of his simple t-shirts that always carried a message, and this one bearing a single word, freedom. That was the banner over his life, and that shirt was a declaration. The same declaration he made at every speech, every campus visit, every time he shared the gospel at a church, every sleepless night that he would spend praying for the youth of this nation and planning for the future of our country, and just impressing upon them that when we defend liberty, we defend the soul of our nation. My husband never told anyone what to say.
Now, I can't confirm or deny. Candace Owen has a lot of questions. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, and allegedly the government's going to look into some of those conspiracy theories. Wow, tired. But yeah, there's a lot going on regarding this situation. Why wasn't he better protected? The campus, when you look, stop playing with me. When you look at the campus, there is a room he could have been in, still speaking with the students. He did not have to be in the open like that. When you look at the campus, there was a room that the staff saw everything. He could have been speaking from there. You have to protect yourself. There was not a lot of security in regards to bag checks. That's a concern. There was not a lot of police presence, but there was police there, but there wasn't a lot of police presence. That's a concern. And allegedly there wasn't a lot of drones. Afterwards, yeah. But everybody's side-eyeing this day. And then go back, because I don't want people to think I'm tripping. Go back. Charlie Kirk did a interview with the campus president or campus owner, whatever. Charlie Kirk did an interview. They did not want him there. So if you don't want me there, there's no way I'm coming. But if I'm going to come, I'm going to protect myself better than I ever have. He should have been under protective glass. There was alleged petitions from the college for him not to come. Why was it? And he spoke about it. Go look up his live. He spoke with the Utah campus. He did a podcast about it. It's interesting how that video I didn't get a lot of views. I still have it up. And I still have the screenshot that they did not want him there, which is sad. But I wish his security team would have did better to protect him if they didn't want him there. Period. They don't want me there. Okay, I'll Skype in and I'll speak. You don't want me there. I'll be in the building and I'll still speak. But I know a lot of people say he liked to. It was a personal thing being right in front of them. Well, you got to protect yourself, because there's people that are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. There's a lot of people that, and go back. A lot of people are looking at old videos she's done. There's a video that she did, and the date from the video shows certain stuff. Go back and look up videos in regards to what's being said about her. I can't confirm or deny, but people are side-eyeing her as the wife. I can't confirm or deny. I'm not FBI. I'm not the police. I don't need to look into it. Many people were wondering, why was Candace Owens and her team more so concerned about that day than they're saying his own team was? Candace Owens was boots on the ground. What happened? How this happened? Why was there so many distractions? Why did this person say they did it? They didn't do it. Why did this other person say they did it? They didn't do it. Then they were saying the pictures don't look very similar. And to disassemble, some people are questioning the cameras. Some people are questioning the pictures. Some people are questioning the messages. There's a lot that's going on regarding this situation. It was so much in regards to, I wouldn't say a rabbit hole, but there was so much that I stepped away from it. I did. I stepped away from it. They were saying there are professional men that deal in this. Look at how the shirt moved. How did his neck catch it? He was moving forward. He moved back. Was it an up close? Was it, this is the big one. Many people are saying, and I'll be general, but look it up. Many people are saying, look at the video for the person that's sitting to his right. They may feel that it might have been somebody that was to the right. But see, AI is so tricky. AI is so tricky. You got to be careful. That's why a lot of us are so cautious about we say what we do. But there's a video out there. Also, there was a camera behind Charlie. Why is Charlie Kirk people removing cameras, and he's standing on the chair where Charlie got injured? His team was never supposed to touch the area. His team was supposed to wait for the police. They were never supposed to touch the area. They were never supposed to touch the camera behind Charlie. This is the other thing that people don't talk about. There was cameras in front of Charlie, one or two, I don't know. I saw cameras in front. Where's all that footage? Now, allegedly, his team is saying they did get the footage because there were people that were even trying to steal shirts, hats, or they were trying to steal hats off the table. So they didn't want they didn't want the footage to get into the wrong hands. That's why he stepped on the chair and grabbed the video. But this is the thing I was saying. There's a video out there. The person is on Charlie's right. Good, you got to go look it up. It looks like he's holding a camera, but many people are saying that don't look like no camera. And why didn't anybody from his team security notice that that did not look like a camera? And then the guy does what he does, allege, whether it's on top, whether there was dual, whether it was individuals. There was a guy that was to the right. He allegedly, people are saying he might have been the one, or the person on top of the building might have been the one. I don't know. But they're saying he allegedly did what he did, then he backed up slowly. So some are saying they talked about the wound, exit or entry. People are saying how that is, and I see different clips too. And there's a lot I can't post because YouTube isn't friendly like that, but I get it. But many people are saying, was that an entry or exit because of the size? But this will be a big situation when all the stuff comes out in court. And then you got to remember, allege, the person has not admitted to anything. I can't confirm or deny what Candace is saying. I can't confirm or deny her theories, but it's very interesting on certain things she's saying. There's another guy that's been doing a lot of videos. You want to look up the Charlie Kirk stuff? Go look up Mr. Let Go. Mr. Let Go has not let it go. He's done a video almost every other day about this Charlie Kirk stuff. Mr. Let Go, he has done video almost every other day, if not every day, or at least once or twice a week. He's done videos on this Charlie Kirk stuff. He stayed on top of it. Mr. Let Go is showing videos I'm talking about that's behind, like Instagram. You hit Instagram a certain way, you'll see different things. But they've broken down, they've listened to professionals, but this is the biggest thing. It is up to the police, and it's going to be up to a judge jury in regards to if the person that allegedly did this, it's going to be up to the courts to decide if that's what really happened. But there are so many videos and so many people that are in certain professions that's talked about, well, how is this and how is that? And if it came from the roof, how is it that nobody heard a whiz go by them? Many people are saying the security that was right in front, how they jumped the table, how they handed each other things. Now, many people are saying the guy that jumped the table, was he handing the guy the keys to the vehicle to get Charlie in the vehicle to get to the hospital immediately? Why was there no ambulance on grounds? Who was supposed to do the checklist of everything Charlie Kirk needed? Who was supposed to do the checklist? Allegedly, they're saying they had to drive him to the hospital. There was no ambulance there. Well, wonder if a student got injured. At that size of a crowd, shouldn't there have been more police presence, drones, and shouldn't there have been an ambulance? Who was supposed to do the checklist? Who was supposed to do the checklist? And if you're getting unwelcoming comments or thoughts, there should have been a protective glass of some sort that should have protected him from what could possibly happen. Sorry, you have to protect yourself because people are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Many people are saying her tears Her rings, they say, is her initials from her children, I think. But many people question certain things. Go back and look up the video of her years ago and look up the date. Certain stuff I'd be like, wow, that's maybe a coincidence. But here nor there, protect protect yourself from people because if they're stating they didn't want him there, he should have either Skyped in or been in that same building where the faculty was. Look, go back and look at the video. I was like, well, the faculty, and that's the other thing too. When it all happened, there's a guy that's standing up. He don't he's in the faculty building. Go look at the video. He's in the faculty building. When everybody else in that room is ducking down, he's still standing there looking at everything that's going on. And he's watching what people are doing. And as everybody else is ducking in that field, because they don't know if there's going to be more, you know, noise. I got to watch what I say. He's kind of standing in the window watching and looking, which I found interesting. I found it was interesting about him. I found it was interesting about the his security guards making different moves. I'm not, some say hand signals. And then some people are talking about the guy jumping the table, and then some people are talking about the video to Charlie's right, where the guy allegedly had something that looked like a camera, but it also looked like something else too. So go look up some of these videos, y'all. There's a lot that's going on. I have to be careful what I say. I can't confirm or deny. I'm not police. I'm not FBI. I'm not forensic. But there's professionals that's questioning a lot, and they're saying no. I was just, moving my shirt. They were saying I was just adjusting the shirt. Now go look up the video too. I'm gonna tell y'all what to do in a general way. Go look up the video in regards to his friend that Charlie looked up to. Go look up his video on what happened that day, how they got him in the car, how they got him to the hospital, and then allegedly, I think they said, allegedly, go look this up. This is very interesting. Where they said when the ambulance was coming, they passed it. What? Go look at the video. His friend that Charlie looked up to as a mentor, he allegedly said when the ambulance passed them, they continued to go and proceed to the hospital. So you didn't even decide to get him immediate assistance from professionals that treat wounds. Y'all continue to go to the hospital, and none of y'all are medical professionals, or you have a doctor in the vehicle. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But allegedly, they did not want to stop that vehicle. They wanted to continue to move forward going to the hospital. Why would you not stop for the ambulance? Because the ambulance could have put more pressure on the wound. The ambulance could have got him in a, alleged more comfortable situation. Then they also said, I can't confirm or deny this also. More people are coming in. Some had said, and I can't confirm or deny, some had said they had talked about not doing an autopsy. There's the 911 call that's out there. And then they had said that, yeah, they are going to do an autopsy. But go back and listen to the 911 call where the gentleman is speaking, that ERIKA's signing. We're trying to figure out where they're going to land the plane. That 911 call is out there, and it tells a lot. It tells a lot in regards to. But then I guess Candace did come out and say, that's why sometimes we do have to be patient. I guess Candace did come out and say there was an autopsy. I don't know, maybe the guy had thought, but many people were saying, where was his parents? Was there a smaller ceremony? Why did his hands look like that when she was next to his casket? Why wasn't there more? That's my biggest thing. Why wasn't there more protective areas, and measurements to protect him if there was petitions and they didn't want him there? At what point are you going to say you saw what happened to the president months prior, and luckily he turned his head, but then you also see that they didn't want him there, which is not a good thing. You should want to be wanted at the facility you're speaking at. So you got to have extra protection areas. And then there's reports out there whether there was a lot of police, and if there should have been, for that size of a crowd, allegedly they're stating there should have been more police. So cameras removed, put more police presence, uh, ambulance not being in a location where if there's something that transpired, they can immediately treat him. Allege them stating they passed the ambulance. Um, and just like I said, there was an area where he could have did his speech, and the faculty was sitting like so close to Charlie. Charlie could have literally sat there. Why did he not have more protective measures? And that's the biggest thing too. When everything, and this is the other thing too, the hospital, they had said he got to the hospital, allegedly he had a pulse, and they stated alleged that he was just in good health, and that's why he still had a pulse. But some are saying when everything happened at the campus, it immediately took out. So is that true or false? Allegedly, whether there was really a pulse, I don't know. But see, there's a lot of stuff where the ambulance should have been treating him. The ambulance should have been putting pressure on. When that happened, someone should have been medically there to treat and put pressure on. But they had said alleged when that did what it did, it immediately took out. And then alleged the bullet got lodged in the neck. I can't come. There's a lot going on, y'all. A lot. A lot going on. Yeah, the ambulance should have been there already. More police presence, period. And then people and bags checks. How are people able to get on the campus and do whatever and there's no bag check? That size of an event and you're getting unwelcoming comments? You're getting unwelcoming thoughts, don't come, petitions being signed? What? Who was supposed to do his quality check on how to protect him? Who was supposed to do that? And many people are like, oh, Candace is acting like the side chick. No, if your friend passes away, you're going to ask questions. You're going to ask questions. And then if the ambulance wasn't there and they are coming, you don't stop to let them pull him out and treat, because as you're alleged traveling to emergency, he could have been getting assistance from you from the ambulance. What? Go back and look it up. I did, and this is the other thing. My page, I don't play. I did a video on the guys saying they passed the ambulance. I did a video on the guys stating that they did not have a lot of police presence. I did a video on them stating there was not proper bag checks. We did videos on it. Whenever I talk about something, there's a short that's going to be underneath what I'm talking about. More protection. That's the biggest thing. More protection. And there was so much that was going on. Think about this. There was so much going on that he was being questioned. Remember? The president was trending about the files. The president was trending about the files. Who are they saying shut the trap? You can't be talking about me. And even if they maybe they talk about somebody else, but I don't deal with disrespect for me or my people in the chat. But go check out the videos, you guys. There's a lot going on. There's going to be a lot of investigations. Allegedly, the guy is stating, or he's not cooperating. I'll say that. But I watch what I say. So sometimes you'll hear me hesitating and I got my thoughts because I got to watch what I say on YouTube. But the guy allegedly is not cooperating. Then allegedly, they had asked the files. A lot of that was going on. Remember, days before, people were talking about the signatures. Remember? They were talking about the signatures and what was going on. And that's what was trending. Days later, this thing with Charlie happened. And then you got there's a lot of distractions going on. There's a lot of distractions going on. A lot of distractions going on. If you want to get into the conspiracy theories, go check out what Candace has to say and the team and the people and, the comments Charlie was getting, not wanting to deal with certain people. I'm not going to name their name here, but Charlie was going to say, we're losing donors. So there's that too. Charlie Kirk was bumping heads allegedly with some people and he didn't want to deal with certain things anymore. So there's so much going on. Who they saying not as smart as you think you are? I know a lot. Just because I don't maybe post stuff here, don't mean I don't know what's going on. So maybe they're talking about somebody else. But yeah, there's a lot going on the background, y'all. If y'all want to do deep dives and y'all, because of course, later on down the line, people are going to say, well, what happened to this? What happened with that? And why would the campus cement that area and not wait 2 or 3, 4 months? Why would they not let it have a proper investigation? Why was his team removing stuff? It should have been the police. It should have been the FBI. None of that area where happened with Charlie, none of that should have been touched. Not the table, not the cameras. Only thing that should have been them helping him get into the vehicle because there was no ambulance there. Well, why would you not have an ambulance? Who was supposed to do the checklist to protect him? Charlie. Nobody should have been able to get to that table to even take a hat off that table. The area was not properly protected. And then, see, I don't know if you guys know this too. When it happened, I showed y'all a video in my short when there's a police telling people to stop because they're trying to get Charlie in the vehicle. People are running, but they're trying to focus on getting Charlie in the vehicle. So there's a police officer there saying, stop, 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 everybody. Kind of like let them get him in the vehicle. Stop, because they didn't want the people to trample over them trying to get Charlie protectively into the vehicle. So there was a police that was trying to help them regarding that. People didn't stop, they were still running. And they tried to run different directions, but there was so much. I did a short regarding that too. There's a police officer that's trying to stop people from getting close to Charlie, them getting in the vehicle, and people are kind of running scattered because they don't know what's going on. But there's that too. There should have been more police officers assisting him as well. Not a lot of police officers was there protecting that too. Them even trying to get him in the vehicle. So there's that video too. He's like, stop, stop, everybody stop. And you could see them running to get him in. And then they also said, Charlie's tall, they said. So at one point, they were having a difficult time getting him in the vehicle. There should have been an ambulance, period. There should have been an ambulance. There should have been an ambulance backed up. You have that type of an event, you have to have an ambulance. You have to have some kind of medical treatment person. And I don't know. And see, this is the other thing too. So don't twist my words. I don't know if who got him in the vehicle, if those people are professionally trained. Maybe they were, military, and maybe there was a medical guy that was in the car. Maybe. We don't know. But prayer squad to Charlie, nobody should have to pass away. But you have to have protective measures, police presence, ambulance, and people's bags have to be checked properly. If he knew that they weren't properly checking those bags, he should have been in that facility with the staff, period. And he could still see the people. He could still answer questions. They literally could have looked up to Charlie and still be asking questions, and he would have been in that building being protected. Go look at the video of the campus. Go look at the video of the campus. There's like a long window that the staff was sitting in watching Charlie speak to the children. It's just interesting to me, y'all. It's just interesting to me. RIP, a man should not have to lose his livelihood in regards to someone doing some wrongdoing. Whether was there one person, two people, I don't know. I'm not a police officer, I'm not the FBI, but there's a lot that's going on in regards to the situation, period. A lot going on. A lot going on. And this is the other thing I'll say. When Charlie was at the hospital, like I said, they stated that he allegedly had a pulse. And allegedly, the FBI came allegedly to the hospital to question everybody. His friend that also talked about getting him in the vehicle, passing the ambulance, his friend stated allegedly they were questioned at the hospital. Yep, his friend said they questioned them at the hospital. And they may have been questioned again. I don't know. But there's a lot going on. But okay, so let's get into some hot topics, trending topics. Let's get into some hot topics, trending topics. It's being reported that Wendy Osefo, if you guys don't know everything that's going on, this is Wendy. Wendy is on the Housewives of Potomac. Wendy decided, her and her husband, they were having, I don't know, I'm not going to start there. So it's being reported that the university initially either replaced Wendy or people are saying whether she was fired or she resigned. There's a code of ethics that you have to have for a college. Now, people are saying, who is this? It's being alleged that Wendy and her husband allegedly committed fraud and making alleged false statements to the police. So, this whole situation with Wendy Osefo and her husband Eddie, there's going to be a huge domino effect. Now, what I will say too, if you guys don't know the show, she's on Real Housewives of Potomac. She and her husband got arrested last week and they went to jail and they bonded out. There's a person, there's Wendy, there's Karen, there's Giselle, there's a bunch of people on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Karen's situation happened, and this is what I told you, my page is a little different. Karen's situation happened March of last year. Wendy's situation happened a lot in April. So Wendy and her husband stated they went out of town, their house got burglarized. Allegedly, they stated some of their stuff got stolen, allegedly made false reports to the police, and allegedly some of the items were found in the house and some of the items were returned. Now it's being reported that she has lost her university job. Okay, I'm going to continue. Many people have talked about Chris too. Have y'all seen Lauren Sanchez? Lauren Sanchez's face looks totally different than it did. Many people are saying Chris's surgeon did an amazing job. The K's and the J's love to trend. The K's and the J's love to trend. Right now, if you don't know, Chris and Kim are suing Ray J in regards to defamation. Ray J said a bunch of things about the K's and the J's. Can't confirm or deny what Ray J is saying. A judge jury is going to have to decide the receipts that Ray J allegedly has. A judge jury is going to have to decide if what Ray J has is true or false, because he's allegedly saying people are coming. He's allegedly saying allegedly he's saying he was paid off. Alleged. He's saying he got the receipt. So Kim, Chris, and Ray J, messy. Is Ray J okay? Remember how Kim and Ray J, you know what I'm saying? But the Kardashians love to trend. The Kardashians love to go viral. They're going to do a lot. So let's update. You had Kim being called out for how she dressed north. You got Kylie that's trying to release music. You got Kylie that's trying to get into the industry and different things. And then you got Kim selling a lot of stuff. Okay. So this is Wendy. Many people are talking about it, and it is being reported. So I'm going to continue about the K's and the J's. Many people are saying she resigned. Sometimes I'm hearing that a college will allow you to either resign or they'll fire you. It just depends on what's going on. Okay. This is him signing it. We're going to go through a few things, y'all. This is him signing this in front of her. Right now, we're just doing hot topics, trending topics.
Fortunate thing, Wendy, you fell victim to wanting to keep up with the Joneses for an expectation that you built in your head. Wendy, we never looked at you as the fashion girl. We never looked at you as the it girl. We never looked at you as the girl that drive nice. We never looked at you or expected you to be the girl that lived nice. That was never the box any of us put you in. So the fact that you fell victim to the materialism of it all,
like the video,
baffling to all of us, because that is an expectation that only existed in your head. No one ever expected you. There's never been a day when anybody's been like, ooh, bitch, y'all saw that shit Wendy had on, bitch, Wendy was giving. We never looked like that, Wendy. Like, honest and true.
Okay, so going over to Funky, he's talking about Wendy.
You fell victim to wanting to keep up with the Joneses for an expectation that you built in your head. Wendy.
So there's that.
For an expectation that you built in your head. Wendy, we never looked at you as the fame. And here's the unfortunate thing, Wendy. You fell victim to wanting to keep up with the Joneses.
Okay. That's ERIKA, KIRK, Tearful. We're going to continue, though. Okay. I'm not going to play this, but let's talk about Kim, Kanye, and Chris. Let me move this down. If you guys did not know, mm, Ashley Curry has been trending from going on this podcast. I'll talk general, and then I may do a separate video on Kim and Kanye. You got to remember, Kanye's documentary came out what, last month? So you got the Kanye documentary coming out. You got the Kim and Chris situation with Ray J. You got Kim being called out in regards to North. Now, Kim Kardashian says what bothers her is when they talk about her kids. Let's be very clear. Stop putting your children in media. How about that? If y'all check out this picture right here, North is looking real grown right here, where her leg is kind of crossed like her mother. The Kardashians need to stop putting the children in the media. The K's and the J's will try and play victim, like people talking about them is other people's fault. No, y'all put them children in on that show. And see, the Kardashians are being right now talked about and dragged. They are. Many people are not wanting to support like they used to support. Many people are calling them out. Many people are calling the show boring. It's the same repetitive things. They're showing unhealthy relationships. Many people are wondering and asking, are they role models? So I did a video and I talked about how Ray J likes to trend, how Kim likes to trend. They will try and trend monthly, but we know it's almost every 2 weeks, if not every week. They will try and sell products. They will try and allege copy people. They will put the kids in media and try and sell products and have the kids talking about the products. And then they'll talk about spouses. You got Kim Kanye, you got Chloe Tristan, you got Kylie Tyga and Travis. The men they dated and the concerns that the men had during the marriage, after the marriage, whatever. This is my biggest thing. I may do a video on what she's talking about. But the biggest thing is, go look at, if you are interested, go look at how Kim portrays North on the show. North is eating an onion. You shouldn't show that about your daughter. North is slapping her friend in the face. You shouldn't put that on about your daughter. North is trying to grab Chloe's glass of alcohol. How they look at North is not good. How they portray North is not good. How they portray Chloe is not good. Look at how Chloe just can't get right with any man and finding a healthy relationship. Kanye said years ago, he was trying to get to his daughter party. They wouldn't give him the address. Now, mind you, it might have been the agreement. You throw your own party, I'll throw mine. Kim, go back. Okay, let me give you some homework. Wendy Williams talked about Kim and Kanye when they first started dating. Kim was married to Chris Humphries. She was pregnant with the child. Kim stepped out of her relationship and started dating Kanye. You got to be careful. You can't be married, get pregnant by some other dude, which is Kanye. Go check out the relationship in regards to Kim moving on from Chris Humphries to Kanye. Okay? So, remember how Kim said Courtney had told Kim that North is her lesson. Who's married into this family? Courtney is the only one that's married. Courtney catch so much flack for wanting to spend time with their kids, trying to be a quality mom. They shade Courtney for trying to be a good mom and a wife. This is the other thing I'm going to tell you. Aubrey O'Day talked about Kim about 2-3 months ago. I was too busy, probably with the Diddy trial or Diddy stuff. Aubrey O'Day talked about the relationship between Kim and Aubrey and what she noticed. But the Kardashians love media so much that they're not even allowing the younger children to grow up without media attention. So the K's and the J's in their mind, okay, I'm going to promote this product. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you know what? They're parents. So if they choose to put their kids in media, don't be surprised if people talk about it. People shaded Kim in regards to the Ice Spice thing. Remember? Kanye said, stop putting my kids on TikTok. Stop putting my kids in media. Kim didn't listen. So they're two parents that should be making decisions on the children. Also, remember when Kanye talked about, and Kanye's no better. I do not like how Kanye has Bianca dressing. I don't like how Bianca's outfits were. Shameful. What you do in your private time, but when you allow your wife to come out in outfits that's see-through, concerning. But did y'all notice something though too? Kanye, how he dressed Bianca, aren't some of those outfits very similar to what she's trying to promote right now? Interesting. So when we talk about Kanye, Kim likes to do stuff that could possibly make him mad, but he does stuff that can make people mad. How Kanye talks about different cultures, community, concerning. How Kanye and the cultures and races that Kanye has exalted, so concerning. So you got Kim stating she's the parent. In this interview, she stated that I can't confirm or deny, Kanye hasn't allegedly seen the kids in months. That's what she said. But did Kanye have a concern after that documentary came out? We saw Kanye was upset. Kanye was yelling at Chris. Don't you feel that you had something to do with my mental health? And she was like, Kanye, don't matter. We love you. We love you. Kanye went through a lot. Kanye went through a lot. But did she want that relationship so bad? Now she has to deal with being married. Be careful who you marry. Be careful who you have kids by. Real talk. Be careful who you marry. Be careful who you have kids by. Kanye was already out there back in the day. Kim had to heard what Amber Rose was going through. Remember how she made him take how many showers? So the men that deal with them, interesting. Kim, Kanye, Chloe, Tristan, Lamar Odom. Then putting Lamar back on the show and Chloe still allegedly having some of Lamar's stuff. What? Why would you have your ex's stuff? You moved since then. Why would you still have his stuff? And allegedly Lamar cheated, allegedly Tristan cheated. I'll say it, but y'all already seen what was going on. Tristan wanted to be single. And then allegedly Chloe's helping Tristan. What? If you're not married to that man, why are you still hanging around? But that's her choice. That's Chloe's choice to help Tristan. Here it is. Here nor there. But they like to keep, and I did a video on that. They like to keep those men close. And who do they have children by? Who do they have children by? Outside of Courtney, who do they have children by? But there's that. The Kardashians love media attention, clicks, and views. So go over here, listen to this podcast. I might do a separate video. But she's talking Kanye. She gets upset when people talk about her kids. Stop putting your kids in media. How about that? And then you have that she still supports Balenci. Remember how that whole ad came out in regards to Balenci? Why would you still support somebody that put children in certain outfits? Why would you support an organization that put children in certain outfits? And then you're being questioned about what you put your daughter in. Allegedly, people feel that she's trying to have North grow up so fast so North can be, trending. Kim wants North to trend. Kim wants North to trend. So then Kim goes from being called out. Don't forget about the Ice Spice situation. Kim gets called out for the Ice Spice situation. Kim got called out for North's outfit. She liked that though. And then she wanted to trend about something else. And then she wanted to trend about her outfit. And then she go back to the legal. I'm, studying legal. And then she goes back to, let me do something in regards to the community. And then she tries to play victim. So there's like a guideline that the Kardashians go through the highs and lows. If you watch them long enough, you'll know. And then they'll try and sell a product. So maybe still this year, she'll put North or the kids in something, or she'll be questioned about her parenting. People are going to question her parenting because people have questioned Chris's parenting with Kim. You're doing good, sweetie. Remember the ad when she had something on her behind? So you'll see the highs and lows of the Kardashians. And remember, too, when Kanye would do something interesting, Kim would end up in a bathing suit to try and change the narrative. Now she has to do other stuff. So back about last year, 2 years ago, when people were trending, Kim wanted to fly wherever those people were. Katy Perry trending, let me go to her concert. Usher's trending, let me go to his concert. Beyonce's trending, let me go to her concert. So I call that out too. Whoever's trending, Kim wants to be by. Kai Cenat. She was on that stream. And then a guy had asked, well, how old is North? You should have seen Kim's face. And then she stated how old North was. The Kardashians need to stop putting the kids in media. And they probably won't do it. Kanye has spoke up as a father. She do stuff to bother him, and I'm sure he does a lot to bother Kim. So go listen to this interview. I may have to do a separate video of what she said, what she talked about. Like I said, Aisha Curry trended 2 weeks ago for being on this podcast because Aisha Curry talked about she didn't want kids, she didn't want to get married. So Aisha Curry trended 2 weeks ago. Now Kim's sitting on that same seat. She wants to trend, she wants to go viral. When something's trending, she wants to be there. So now let's stop talking about Aisha Curry. Let me go ahead and talk about Kanye. Let me go ahead and talk about my children. She puts them in media though. Do y'all feel that they're role models? Y'all let me know. People are talking about Chris, her face. People are talking about Kim, Ray J, Kanye. And they're talking about how North recently looked. She's a gorgeous girl. Here nor there. We try and be cautious about the kids, but they're putting the kids in the media. They're putting the kids in the media. So I can't play the clip because I don't want to get flagged on that. Oh, y'all see that? Not going to say much, but that's being alleged. Okay, so we talked Kim, Kanye, ERIKA, KIRK. Funky talked about Wendy. This is him signing. If you're just not coming in, we're just talking hot topics, trendy topics. This is him signing in regards to giving him that medal. We talked Wendy. Many people talked about Chris. And then, like I said, Lauren Sanchez, she didn't look like that 4 years ago. Lauren Sanchez, who gave Lauren Sanchez advice to do what she did? Lauren Sanchez don't look like she did 4 years ago. And who was Lauren Sanchez close to? So Chris's, her makeover came out great. Why Lauren Sanchez look like that? Did somebody give her advice? Here nor there. You got to be careful who you choose to be your friend. And then remember, the K's and the J's wanted to trend over Lauren Sanchez for her own wedding. The Kardashians wanted to trend over Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos' wedding. They shouldn't have invited them. The Kardashians will suck the life out of an event and make it all about them. So there's the Wendy information. There's them talking about the medal, him giving her the medal. So go do your own conspiracy deep dives in regards to this whole situation, what happened to Charlie Kirk. Go look it up. It's out there. There's many, many, many videos. I only try and watch maybe 2 a day in regards to Charlie Kirk, but there's a lot of allegations. And then this is when right now they talking about co-parenting. So you can look up Hollywood Unlocked. She's talking about co-parenting right now. And she tries to say she tries to be kind about comments about Kanye. And then allegedly, North is telling Kim to go start dating. Men may be concerned because when Pete tried to move on, Kim was still trying to trend with Pete. Men may be concerned. Kanye's something else to be the ex of. So when we look at the men that they've dated, the Tristans, the Kanyes, she may be having a hard time. And then remember, she tried to trend with Tom Brady. And Tom Brady was like, oh, no, you're not. I'm going through divorce. I don't need you to be, trying to add your name that I'm dating you. Tom Brady was trying to respectfully go through a divorce. And the Kardashians was constantly trying to trend with Tom Brady. That's not okay. Let that man go through divorce peacefully. That was crazy. Go look that up. And then men get concerned if she's at an event, she want to be spotted in a picture. Look at the Orlando Bloom picture of Kim and Orlando at the Jeff Bezos wedding. Katy Perry had just broke up with Orlando Bloom, and here she is talking to the Kardashians. Do stuff to trend and go viral on. So many men are kind of like, I got to be cautious being around them. I got to be cautious. So Kendall Kylie was expected to date to try and change the narrative. So it can't be easy having him as the father of your children. It can't be easy. But we also know Kim likes to go viral. Kanye likes to go viral. And there's things that he does that bothers her because he's very public about cultures, race. There's things that she does that she tried to act like she didn't do. So there's that. But yeah, Kim wants to be on the same chair that Aisha Curry was trending on. Now she wants to sit there, and she was on Kai Cenat last month. Now she's sitting on this chair and they're talking. Might do a separate video on what's being said, but it's cringy. For me to listen to Kim, it's cringy. For me to listen to Kylie and her voice, it's cringy. For me to listen to Chloe, it's cringy for me. Their voices, because they cannot play the victim. Yes, they're rich. Yes, well known. Yes. And like I said, I can't confirm or deny what Ray J is saying is true or false, but they like to trend and go viral. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. Okay, you guys, I've been live for 1 hour 40. I was going to go live for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So I hope y'all did subscribe. If all 65 people subscribe, that'll be a great day for me. Super chats are welcome. Continue to hit the like as you guys come in. But yeah, the Kardashians love to trend and go viral. They do. They do. So she will constantly try to play the victim. And then she tried to say North tried the cute outfits, but then she's like, Mom, I'm not trying to be sad. So then she'll do it, and then she'll say, oh, this happened. The Ice Spice thing. Remember the Ice Spice thing where she had North at what age talking with and hanging out with Ice Spice? Ice Spice is a grown woman singing about Munch. What? The Kardashians, it's a trip to me. If this was a different family, they'd be called out constantly. I don't know. I think people have gotten tired of it because it's like, why is your daughter hanging out with adults? Because she hung out with Ice Spice. Then she had her hanging out with Kai Cenat. So Kim wants her to be around adults. People are like, why do you have adults? People are like, why do you have adults entertaining your child? Why aren't young entertainers that's famous entertaining your child? So they've questioned Kim on that too. You got her with Ice Spice. You got her in a wig and an outfit in the bottom saying what? Then you got Kai Cenat, and that's fine. Well, why not have a child star that's entertaining your daughter for her birthday? It's an adult. And then remember how I did the video where North's a cute girl. North probably don't realize what's really going on in regards to the K's and the J's and what it is about media. And she gets it as a child, but she probably don't get that they want to trend, they want to go viral, they want to be in the media. They could not take a year off from trying to trend and go viral. Their team there must be a room. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to go to this event. We're going to talk about this. We're going to trend about this. We're going to release this product at this time. Okay, Kanye's doing this, so we got to do this. There's that too. The distraction of what's going on. They like to say, okay, Kanye's trending, so let me go out and sell something. Okay, let me get this deal. And she's got a lot of great collaborations. But did y'all see what she came out with last night? Did y'all see what she came out with last night? Go look it up. I do not promote none of their products. Many people have called them out for copying people. Alleged. I can't confirm or deny if those designs are copied or not. I don't deal in that. But she came out with a product last night, and then she had the collab last month. So things are going on with Kanye. You better believe they're going to be releasing some products. And then I guess Kylie got some kind of song out. Yeah. So it is what it is. People are calling Kim out and Ray J. People are calling Kanye out because look at how Kanye dresses Bianca. Do not think I like what he does. The things Kanye say, the things he do, you know, it's concerning. But you decide to date that man, marry that man, have kids with that man. So people are calling out the K's and J's, period. She's 12. She is 12. Yeah. And why not? Why? Okay. People call out Beyonce too in regards to Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy's tall, dancing, whatever. They call them out. But Kim knows what she's doing. She knows how to put it out there and then pull it back and then say, oh, well, North wants to go back to her t-shirts and baggier shorts. North is 12. And then don't forget the Lion King thing, how that all happened. Remember how, there was another student that was up for the Lion King and North got it? That's great. But many parents called out the Kardashians regarding that too. Her practicing properly, Kanye wanting to change things regarding the Lion King. They are so controlling. That's all I hear. They're so controlling when they get into a situation. Now you got to remember, the Lion King, the announcement that Blue Ivy was supposed to be the voice of. A month later, 2 months later, Kim had to have North in the same situation. Kim pays attention to media. Kim pays attention to media. And if your child is doing this, okay, my child has to do also similar or something above. But yeah, the Blue Ivy and North situation, Kim, let North grow up. Let her be 17, 18, and then let her trend go viral. But it's concerning. So many people that's therapists or doctors, I'm not. This is just our opinion. Many people say she do what she do. She put out what she put out. So when North get 18, 19 and she doing XYZ, then you'll be like, well, look at how this happened and look how that happened. It's almost like people are saying she's putting her in media. So when things do whatever it's going to do, you can then say, well, look at how she was talking to her mom. I saw a video that Lala was trying to sell some product and North was behind Lala. And Lala was like, go on, y'all, go away. I'm trying to do a video. North was like, no, we can help you sell the products. And then Chloe, go back and check this out. Chloe was sitting with her daughter, and Chloe had said, oh, look at all these products. We're going to give them to Northy. Those products were for adults. It's almost like they don't have a meter of what's appropriate for adults, and they don't have a meter of what's appropriate for young children. That stuff should not even been given to North because she's 12. Children should not be using items on their skin at a young age. Soap water. You pick the soap water. But the Kardashians are constantly being questioned about their dating life, their dating history, who they have kids by, who they decide to marry, and it's a concerning thing. Go look at that video. I did a short regarding Chloe sitting down talking with her daughter, saying we're going to give these products to Northy and Penelope. The girls are too young to be using those products. And then you have her, Chloe had her daughter saying, oh, these products are blah, blah, blah. So they're utilizing the children and some of the products that they're promoting. Let the children get 17, 18, let them grow up, but they're not. The Kardashians are going to keep putting those children in media, and they should not. Yeah, and Kanye has spoke about. Remember how Kanye said, Kim, get my kids off media. I don't like them in the school. You're not going to have her on this. You're not going to have her promoting this. You're not. Kanye really said he don't have a say so. Where they go to school, how she's raising them. She's raising them. Kim ain't going to listen to Kanye. Kim ain't going to listen to Kanye. It's going to be a continuous thing with Kim Kanye. It's going to be a continuous thing. But they're parents. So if they're going to put children in the media, don't be surprised if people talk about it because you chose to put them in media. Go back and look. Now Black China is spending more time with her daughter, and sometimes her daughter will get on and say, okay, her name is Dream. Dream will talk about who's her favorite auntie. Dream will talk about who she's closest to as far as the grandmothers. So now you got Black China and Rob, who are parents. I think I even have this. Oh, y'all, wait.
Her neighbor slid.
Check this out. This is a big one. Okay. I got to do this one too. You guys, remember how Wendy's house got broken into? The neighbors thought that it was BS.
Her neighbor slid into my DM.
Check this out.
Basically, that they all got notices on their front door or in their mailbox that there had been a burglary, and it was at the, Wendy and Eddie's house. The whole entire neighborhood was thinking, this is insurance fraud.
See?
Really? But they all thought something was kind of shady about it.
Something was fishy.
Fishy. Like
Stacy's breath.
You know I was going to say that. So somebody her neighbor slid into my DM. Basically, that they all got notices on their front door or in their mailbox that there had been a burglary, and it was at the, Wendy and Eddie's house. The whole entire neighborhood was thinking, this is insurance fraud.
Really?
But they all thought something was kind of shady about it.
So Wendy Osefo's neighbors knew it was insurance fraud. Because you got to remember, Wendy had announced that that area hadn't had any burglaries in years. Wendy said that. Wendy did an interview talking about there was no burglaries in the neighborhood for years. So if the neighbors thought they thought it was insurance fraud, baby.
Stacy's.
That's big. The neighbors thought he was even insurance fraud. before they even got arrested. Baby, okay, we're going to talk about this too. As you know, LeBron is married to Savannah. Beautiful woman. They've been married for so long. LeBron is on here because I can't play this one. I got to watch what I play. LeBron is talking about marriage, loving Savannah, him being grown up as only child, and he talked about being so connected with the basketball players. He said relationships are hard, but he said I like being with my wife. I like being with my friends. He said relationships are work, but he said he ain't going nowhere. You got you got Miss Curry talk about she didn't want to get married, she want to have kids, and then you have LeBron that's on his wife's podcast talking about I love my wife, I'm fighting for my family. He said he ain't going nowhere because they had said Aisha Curry, LeBron James' wife would never say I never want, I never have kids. You gotta protect your family bond. So it's nice that LeBron has said he's happy. It's not easy, but he ain't going nowhere. And that's a blessing. A lot of famous basketball wives don't speak up. They don't say much in interviews or in she has her podcast and she'll talk about certain stuff, but she not on her podcast dragging her husband. So that's a beautiful thing. LeBron's not retiring this year. He loves Savannah, he loves his children, and he basically saying he ain't going nowhere. And he loves the bond that he has with his wife and his friends. So there's that. And then we talked about Wendy. Kim Sosia. Mm. Oh, okay. So y'all can see that. I don't really talk Kim that much, but y'all can see that. So she's subpoenaed in in regards to a case. Kim Zolciak subpoenaed in a $100 million divorce case, accused of receiving lavish gifts from another woman's husband. Maybe I better say that. Well, I think I already did. So there's that. Kim's trending about that. So I don't know if she's newly dating someone or this is a situation from last year, but she was subpoenaed in regards to receiving lavish gifts. There's that. We going through a lot of news.
When the financial burden got heavy, but call number two for shit sure should have been Toya and Eugene Harris. When it comes to Married to Medicine, I tell y'all a lot that I hate the Toya is broke storyline because the storyline only exists on Married to Medicine. This girl has been on the show for over 10 years, and year after year, we don't hear about now eviction. We don't hear about them kids getting kicked out of school yet. All them kids is in private school. They drive expensive cars. She got expensive habits. Level, comma. Back in the day when they had that accountant that didn't pay their taxes and they had over $100,000 in tax debt, we watched Mr. Harris put his foot down on national television. Loved their house wrapped up in the it of it all. Eugene looked at Toya again on national television and said, "We are sitting in our biggest debt." Toya, the $10,000 a month house that they were renting. Then he made that wife of his downsize. They agreed to. Made is tough, right? They decided to downsize, and they didn't downsize to like, ooh, child, a white refrigerator. It was still nice. It just wasn't that $10,000 a month house. And they paid off that debt in record time and partied about it. What's your point? What's your point? My point is Miss 4 Degrees and Dr. Cannabis Lawyer Esquire, man, could have done the same.
Like the video, like the video. So there's that. Okay. So this was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Rob agrees with Black China in regards to a post, Love Forever. Isn't it interesting that when you really think about it, let's think about this. Rob and Black China is less controversial than Kim and Kanye. Rob and Black China pretty much keeps to themselves. They're raising their children. Yeah, she do different videos with her daughter. She's doing her hair, but it's more so innocent. But Black China and Rob protects those children in a way that other celebrities should do. Rob is out of the media. Once a year, twice a year, Chloe tries to put him in media. Whether Chloe puts him on the phone, hey, Rob, what's your thoughts about this? If Rob wants to stay out of media, let him stay out of media, but they won't. They won't let Rob stay out of media. Rob likes his private life, period. Black China's in the media, yeah. You know, Rob likes the private life. He does. And they're allegedly trying to get him back on the show because Kim wants to do this and Chloe wants to do this. And now they're trying to, and they're probably trying to call Rob and say, Rob, we really need you to show you know what I'm saying? Every year, Chloe tries to put Rob in media. Go look it up. Twice a year, she'll bring up Rob, whether it's a voice call. And see, I don't know if Rob always knows he's being recorded, and Chloe shows it. Chloe shows it and posts it that she's on the phone with her brother. Don't be recording me posting it. I feel for Rob. Remember how they didn't care to support his every dream, and now they need him. Prayers for Rob. Rob's gone through a lot. Rob's gone through a lot. Only boy out of how many girls? And they trying to go viral about this and that and relationships and this and that. Now they begging him to come on the show. Rob, keep your peace if you can. Keep your peace. Keep your peace. Of course, he comes around to spend time with his family, but they always want to try to go viral when Rob is there. And Rob, if Rob don't want to be in media, stop putting him in media. Stop putting them kids in media. But there's that. I think that was everything. Kim Kardashian, Kanye West catches mom crying. Okay, so it's being reported, like I said, Kim North had said she caught Kim crying. Kim said, I wasn't crying, I was getting a massage. So that might have some truth to it. Whether Kim at night is crying about Kanye, whether Kim at night is crying because she don't have help. And then remember how she went on Kai Cenat talking about the kids shouldn't have that much homework. So this is the biggest thing. Here she is again talking about North. Here she is again talking about North. North is saying, Mom, start dating. Now she's trying to say North wants her to date. You a grown woman, handle your business, leave the kids out of it, but she's not gonna do that. North trends go viral. She wants North to have a presence on in media. They should let those kids grow up. So now blame it on North that you should be dating. Blame it on North. North feels that you're crying at night and crying about Kanye. That's who you chose to marry. That's who you chose to have kids by. It is what it is. Move on. So, okay, let's give scenarios. Kim wants to trend over this. Next week, she'll try and trend over something else. Maybe by the end of the year, she'll try and do something else regarding North. And it'll be that she's trying to help somebody else get out of jail. I can run down different scenarios. They want to trend go viral. They want to put the kids in media. They want to sell products. They want to play the victim. They want to play the victim. Woe is me. This happened to me. You guys didn't know. That just happened, which is what she talked about was a serious situation. Nobody should be threatening her, though. Understand that. Nobody should ever be threatening them, the K's, J's. That I'm not okay with that. But the Kardashians love media attention. Maybe back away from media. Maybe back away from media. So she's utilizing talk about Kanye and she's utilizing talk about North. Without that, what else would she talk about? And then men don't want to be said that they're, you know what I'm saying? Remember when she was saying she was dating Odell Beckham and then that video came out about Odell Beckham? Baby, can't make that up. Okay, so you guys, we've been live for almost an hour, almost 2 hours. Let me see if there was one other thing. So go over the videos of Kim is on TMZ, Hollywood Unlocked, The Shade Room. She went on this podcast, like I said. Aisha Curry was trending about her marriage. Now Kim is sitting on that same chair talking about XYZ. I didn't check out Kanye's documentary. Not interested. I don't check out the show. I watch different clips, so I know what's going on. And I see it. I see that they want to trend, go viral, and keep the kids in media. And the kids probably should be able to get old enough to want to say they want to. But when certain things are going on, Kim will push North in a certain way. And then she'll act like, oh, Kim, North wanted to try it, but now she wants to go back too. Kim act like people are dumb. They're not. People see about what's going on with the Kardashians. They see, they hear, they know. And at what point? Now It's being alleged this is the first defamation case they filed. And is Ray J okay? Does Ray J have proper proof? A court and a judge and a jury will have to decide. What Ray J is saying is true or false. But what he's talking about is true or false. What will happen in regards to the Kim, Ray J, Chris defamation lawsuit? We'll see. We'll see. Why was Ray J saying, you know, what's going on with the K's and the J's? Can't confirm or deny if that is what's really going on. But Ray J had a lot to say. 3 years ago, go look it up. Ray J had a lot to say last month. Ray J had a lot to say. He said, I won't be silenced. Ray J saying he allegedly got proof of XYZ. So is this why Kylie is trying to push this and trying to push that? Is this why Kim is trying to push this, collaborating with this person, now pushing that? Maybe. I don't know. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I cover what I can cover, but if I covered all their stuff, and some people do, I wouldn't want to promote their stuff though. But I got to tell y'all what's going on. So she's on this podcast talking about Kanye, the kids, and dating. Let me see. What is this person saying? How is watching? And if I watch short clips, I can watch short clips and obtain a lot of information. You got to be careful who you talk about. People can retain a lot from a short clip. A 15-second clip, they could tell you this fact, that fact. A 30-minute clip, a 1-minute clip, a 3-minute clip. You can learn a lot in minutes because a lot of information is given immediately in those 15 seconds, 30 seconds. I can watch 2 programs and gain information of what's said, and then I exit and get back to my family. I can literally watch 2 things and be like, okay, that's what that, okay, that's, okay. So I retain different than other people. I can have my phone, but something's playing on my TV. Okay, this person's talking about this case. Okay, this is what's happening. Okay, wow, Diddy is they're trying to seize this and they're trying to seize this, and I can have my phone in my hand, and then something else could be being talked about. I can retain a lot of information, and then I shut it down. Sometimes I don't need to do that, but I need that. That's playing. Let me hear what this is saying. Let me hear what that's. I can retain a lot. I don't need to watch the Kardashians to see that they love media. I don't need to watch the Kardashians to see they're trying to push certain narratives. I don't need to watch the Kardashians to know they want a trend to go viral. That's what they're going to do. You got the whole Kylie situation saying she was a billionaire. What? So there's that. Okay, so I don't know if this person's trying to be rude, but you don't have to be here. You ain't gonna be rude in my comments. Go on your page. You know how many views I get per month? Millions. My page have millions of views. You ain't gonna come over here and shade me. Shade yourself. Go over your videos. Do your videos. We talk hot topics, trending topics, and I keep people up to date. I get thousands of subscribers per month, and I get millions of views. Hello. So people like to come in your comments and be rude. Be rude to yourself. Talk to yourself. Be rude to yourself. Make those negative comments to yourself. Why do people come over in comments and be rude to people? What is wrong with you? People like attention. So I block their comments. Sometimes people are talking to other people in the comments and I ignore it. But we're talking hot topics, trending topics. That's what YouTube is. You don't know what that is? Do you? But be kind in my comments and in the people in my comments. I don't play over here. We did hot topics, trending topics. So, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. We talk Kardashians. They want to trend go viral. They like to play victim. They're pushing products. There's situations I can't confirm or deny what's going on with Kim and Ray J. We talked Trump. We talked ERIKA KIRK. There's a lot of different conspiracies out there. I can't confirm any of the conspiracies if they're true or false. There are videos out there of his team speaking up and speaking out of what happened that day. And there's that. And Trump's been very busy. Many people are saying the shutdown is causing a lot of concerns. I did do shorts on regards to that last night too. So I do my lives, I do my shorts. Most of my shorts are posts after 8 or 9. And it's very rare if I do a short in the morning, but if I have to, I have to. But a lot of my shorts are posts after 8 or 9. So go look those up. They're doing really well. Thanks for being here, everyone. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Watch your surroundings. Watch your surroundings. Listen to what people are saying. Pay attention to your surroundings, your area. Be safe. There's a lot going on in the world. A lot. Protect your family, protect your friends. Don't break the law. Period. Well wishes to Wendy. We'll keep you guys updated. We'll keep you updated on the Kardashians. They want to trend viral. This situation with Kanye is probably not. So you think about it. There's Kim Kanye situation in his documentary, and then you got Ray J that's speaking out against the Kardashians. So the Kardashians can't be happy about the Kanye documentary and Ray J making different allegations. I can't confirm or deny what Ray J saying is true or false, but they're not happy that these men are speaking up, speaking out, and bringing them in media, and they're trying to distract. So there's that. Goodbye, everyone. Be blessed. Have a great day.